Hello and welcome back to SAFM. Right now we are joined by the spectacular writer Suzanne Collins. Suzanne, I've always been a fan of your work, so what gave you the inspiration to write your novel, The Hunger Games?
Thank you. The idea of the Hunger Games came to me while I was watching TV. I was switching between channels when I found an old war reenactment and some people competing for money. Then the idea of the Hunger Games hit me.
Wow, who would have thought that the idea of a best-selling novel was found while watching TV? So what is the purpose behind The Hunger Games?
I know it sounds a bit crazy, but it's true. That's how I thought of the novel. The purpose behind the Hunger Games is to portray certain themes, such as survival and the effects of war among others. The theme of survival has multiple themes within it: defensive survival and offensive survival. Katniss shows both tactics, but most of the time Katniss is in defensive mode, hiding in the trees or staying in places so that she doesn't get noticed. The offensive tactic is portrayed when Katniss drops the tracker jacker nest on the other competitors below her so that she and Rue can get away. The other theme, the effects of war among others, is a serious problem in real life, and I'm trying to get that message across to others. This final message is shown at the start and end of the book. It is shown by Haymitch because he took up alcoholism because he couldn't take the pain of the Hunger Games. It is shown at the end of the book by Katniss and Peeta because Katniss now thinks that someone is going to do something bad to her and her family, and Peeta had to get his leg removed and replaced due to the fact of the severe injury that he received in the Hunger Games.
Susan, the reaping selection of people is pretty much a conscription of war. Was it intentional for this to happen, or did you just think of it and then wrote it down?
Yes, this was very intentional because I wanted to make a point of how the selection of people for the Hunger Games is like a lottery of a war, of who is going to go. In this case, it is the Hunger Games. This was a terrible selection that has happened in the past. It is unfair and cruel, and that's why I made it like that.
Susan, the theme, the effects of war among others. This is such a serious subject. Why did you write about it?
The reason behind writing about that topic would be because of my father. My father was in the Vietnam War as a medic, and when he came home and told me stories about the war, the stories I heard showed me how bad a war can affect someone.
So, Susan, which is your favourite character? Because mine was Cato, because he reminds me of a hero and a villain, because he's evil. That was a bit of a downfall for me. Now on with the question. Did you enjoy writing about them?
Well, my favourite character would have to be Effie Trinket.
What? Katniss is not your favourite character? I would have thought that the protagonist would have been your favourite character.
Yes, I know, Katniss is not my favourite character, but I like Effie better because I created her to be different from everyone else. She is the most unique type of person in the book and has the weirdest fashion and is a very high-up lady. She has a very posh life and always uses her manners and hates it when other people don't use their manners. A scenario from the book where she complains about manners is when they are on the train and she is happy with Peeta and Katniss' behaviour, unlike the last year's tributes because they used their hands to eat.
So Susan, are you looking forward to the new movie coming out, Catching Fire? And are you going to be a main contributor like the last film?
Yes, I am most definitely looking forward to the second movie in the trilogy, and I will be a main contributor to this film just like the last one.
Thank you so much for your time and effort you have put to coming down to the studio and joining us.
Thank you for having me here today. It was a pleasure. Goodbye.